Today, I've got something that every dog owner will relate to, those moments when your dog barks, but not just any bark, that bark. You know the one I'm talking about. Is it excitement, fear, or maybe your dog is trying to tell you something that you're completely missing? In today's video, we're going to break down exactly what your dog means when they bark in different situations. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to read your dog like a book. Sound familiar? Let's jump into it. Alright, let's start with a basic truth. Barking is your dog's primary way of communicating with the world around them, including you. But what exactly are they trying to communicate? Well, much like how we have different tones and words for different feelings, dogs use specific types of barks to express what they want or need. Types of barks. 1. The alert bark. This is that sudden, sharp bark your dog does when someone knocks on the door or when they hear a noise outside. It's their way of saying, "Hey, something's up, check it out." 2. The play bark. If your dog is in full-on playful mode, jumping around, wagging their tail, and giving those short, excited barks, this is their way of saying, "Let's have fun." 3. The demand bark. Ever had your dog stare at you while barking? They want something, whether it's food, a walk, or attention. For the fearful bark. These barks often sound higher-pitched and are combined with your dog backing away or hiding. This usually happens when they're nervous about something, like a stranger or another dog. So, as you can see, not all barks are created equal. But here's where things get tricky. Sometimes, your dog's bark can be a combination of these. Before we go, I've got something really special for all you bulldog owners out there. If you're looking for the best gear, toys, and treats for your pup, I've got a discount just for you. I've partnered with some awesome brands to offer exclusive deals on everything your bulldog needs, from comfy beds to chew toys that'll keep them entertained for hours. Just head to the comments below, and you'll find a link with a special coupon code that'll get you discounts on some of the best items for your bulldog. Trust me, your pup is going to love these products, and you'll love the savings. So don't miss out, check it out right after this video. And hey, your bulldog will thank you for it. Now, let's talk about one of the most misunderstood barks, what I like to call the "I need you" bark. This is the bark that can often confuse dog owners. It's not as direct as the alert bark or as playful as the excitement bark. It's that persistent, almost nagging bark that your dog does when they seem restless. So what are they trying to say? Needs behind the bark. Attention-seeking, dogs are pack animals, and they need social interaction. If your dog is constantly barking and looking at you, they might just want some quality time. Restlessness *, sometimes, dogs get bored, plain and simple. If your dog isn't mentally or physically stimulated, they'll let you know through barking. Separation anxiety. Does your dog bark when you leave the room? This could be a sign of anxiety and their way of saying, "Don't leave me." The key here is understanding the context. Is your dog barking when you're in the middle of something, or does it happen when they're left alone? This could tell you whether they're bored, anxious, or just craving attention. Now, we've talked about the everyday barks, but what if the barking is more intense, more frequent, or happening in unusual situations? This could be your dog's way of signaling that something isn't quite right. Let's dive into a few possibilities that you should never ignore. Physical discomfort or pain. If your dog is barking excessively and you notice them limping, shaking, or showing other signs of discomfort, this could mean they're in pain. Dogs can't speak up and tell us directly when something hurts, so barking becomes their way of signaling, "Help me, something's wrong." Always make sure to check your dog's body for injuries if this type of barking occurs. Medical conditions. Sometimes, excessive barking can be linked to underlying health issues like hearing loss, cognitive dysfunction in older dogs, or even something as simple as an upset stomach. If the barking is unusual and out of character, a vet checkup is always a good idea. Stress and anxiety. Anxiety-related barking can become a major issue, especially if it's triggered by changes in routine or environment. If your dog's barking increases after a move, a new family member, or another big change, they may be feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Okay, we've covered the why behind barking, but what can you do about it? How can you manage barking, especially when it becomes excessive? Don't worry, I've got you covered with some simple but effective training tips. Teach the quiet command. This one is a lifesaver. Start by letting your dog bark once or twice, then gently say quiet and reward them when they stop. It's all about consistency and positive reinforcement. Provide plenty of physical and mental stimulation. A tired dog is a quiet dog. Make sure your dog is getting enough exercise and mental challenges throughout the day. Interactive toys, training sessions, and walks can make a huge difference. Avoid encouraging barking ***. It's easy to accidentally reward your dog for barking, especially if you give them attention every time they bark. Instead, wait for them to be quiet, then reward the calm behavior. Use a positive distraction. If your dog is barking at the doorbell or at guests, redirect their attention with a toy or treat. This can help break the cycle of barking and focus them on something more positive. Finally, let's not forget the emotional side of barking. Dogs aren't just barking machines, they're expressing their feelings. Sometimes, your dog's bark is a sign of love, excitement, or connection. Understanding these emotional cues will deepen your bond with your furry friend. The love bark. Ever notice how your dog barks when they see you after a long day? That's pure love and excitement. It's their way of saying, "I missed you." Before we wrap up, let's quickly talk about some common myths around dog barking. There are a lot of misconceptions out there, and today, I want to set the record straight. If you've ever heard any of these, listen up. Myth number 1, barking means aggression. One of the biggest myths is that barking always equals aggression. That's not true. While barking can be a sign of territorial behavior or warning, it's often just a way for dogs to express excitement, anxiety, or even curiosity. A dog barking doesn't always mean they're ready to attack, sometimes, they're just talking to you in their own language. Myth number 2, small dogs bark more than large dogs. Another common belief is that smaller dogs bark more than larger dogs. While it's true that some small breeds, like Chihuahuas, can be more vocal, barking isn't size dependent. It really depends on the individual dog's personality, training, and environment. Some large dogs can be just as noisy as smaller ones, trust me, I've seen it. Myth number 3, you can stop barking completely. I often hear people say they want to stop their dog from barking entirely. But here's the truth, barking is a natural behavior for dogs, and you don't want to eliminate it completely. What you can do is manage it. The goal should be to control excessive barking and understand why your dog is barking in the first place, not to shut them up entirely. Dogs need to express themselves, and barking is a big part of that. So next time your dog barks, instead of getting frustrated, think about what they're trying to tell you. It could be as simple as, "Hey, let's play," or it could be something more serious. Either way, it's worth listening. Alright guys, before we finish, I want to hear from you. What does your dog's bark sound like? Is it more of a ruff, a woof, or something totally unique? Drop a comment below with your best impression of your dog's bark, and let's see who's got the funniest one. I'll be reading all your comments and responding to as many as I can. My dog here has a bark that sounds almost like a mix between a growl and a sneeze, it's hilarious. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. As we wrap up today's video, I want to leave you with one final thought. Understanding your dog's bark isn't just about reducing noise or avoiding frustration. It's about connecting with your dog on a deeper level. When you start to recognize the different types of barks, you'll be able to meet your dog's needs more effectively, whether they're asking for attention, alerting you to something, or just telling you they're happy. Remember, your dog relies on you to understand them, and by paying attention to their barks, body language, and behavior, you can become an even better pet parent. And let's be honest, our dogs deserve the best, right? Looks like someone's ready for some playtime, I better go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.